Hey everyone, ready to make your English sound just a little more natural? Today, we're going to look at two small but super important words, have and have to. Let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's start with a classic point of confusion. You've got I have a car and I have to drive to work. They look almost the same, right? But that one tiny word, to, completely changes the meaning. One is about something you own, and the other is about something you must do. Let's break it down.
First up, let's talk about have to. I want you to think of this as your must-do phrase. It's for all those things in life that you just gotta do, whether it's because of a rule, a schedule, or just a situation.
So, whenever you use have to, you're talking about an obligation. That just means you don't really have a choice in the matter. It's something that's necessary, and it usually comes from an outside force, like your job, your school, or your parents.
Let's look at some everyday examples. You might not want to get out of bed, but I have to wake up early for work. Or your teacher says you have to finish your homework. See, these are all things that are required.
Now, here's a really important little grammar tip. Check out this slide. For I, you, we, and they, we use have to. Simple enough. But for he, she, or it, we switch it to has to. So we say he has to wake up or she has to go. It's a tiny change, but it makes a huge difference in sounding correct.
Okay, so that was have to. Now let's see what happens when we take away the to and just use the word have all by itself. The meaning totally changes. Now we're talking about things that we own.
Yep, have on its own is all about possession. It's how we talk about the things that belong to us. This could be actual stuff, like a phone, or it could be qualities about ourselves, or even our relationships. It's all about what's connected to you. And here are some great examples of that. You can say, I have a laptop. That's an object. But you can also say, you have a great personality, or she has long hair. These aren't objects you can hold, but they still belong to that person.
And guess what? That little grammar rule we just learned, it works here too. We say I have a pet, but we say he has a pet. See? It's the exact same pattern. For he, she, and it, we just change have to has. So simple.
Okay, learning rules is one thing, but let's see how this all sounds in a real, natural conversation. We're going to listen in on two friends talking.
So the conversation starts pretty simply. One friend just notices something and says, "Hey, you look tired." You know, a pretty normal thing for friends to say.
And listen to the reply. Yes, I have to wake up early. There it is. He's explaining the obligation, the reason why he's tired. He must do it because of his job.
His friend understands. And then notice the question, do you have a car? The conversation just switched from an obligation to possession. Now he's asking about something his friend owns.
And the friend answers about his possession. I have a car, but he adds a little extra info about his preference. So he owns it, but he doesn't have to use it.
And to finish up, the first friend shares his own obligation for the day. He says, I have to finish my assignment. He doesn't want to. He says it's boring, but he must do it.
All right, before we finish up, let's do a super quick grammar check on a couple of common mistakes. If you can fix these, your English will instantly sound much better. Okay, this is a big one. It's so tempting to say he have to go, but remember our rule. For he, she, or it, we've got to use has to. So the correct way is always he has to go. And the same exact rule applies when we're talking about possession. We never say she have. We say she has a big house. It's that small change that makes all the difference.
So, if you only remember one thing from today, let it be this. This is the golden rule. For he, she, and it, you always use has. It works for obligations, has to, and for possession, has. Got it?
Okay, you've seen the examples. You've learned the one simple rule. Now comes the most important part. It's your turn to actually practice this. So let's make this real. Think about your life right now. What's one thing you have to do today? And on a nicer note, what's one cool thing you have? Try to say the answer out loud, just for yourself. It's the best way to start using these words with confidence. Great job today, and keep practicing.